honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
Wrocław, Poland for the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship. Here comes our first semifinal as top-seeded Italy, unbeaten in this tournament in Wrocław, Poland. They'll take on the 5-seed Ireland. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Ralph Bjornchik alongside Marty Horkin. It has been raining all afternoon, and if you could tell from our cameras, completely overcast. Both crease areas, frankly, have puddles and mud. The face-offs will take place just to the outside of the original face-off X, but we're ready to go to see who will advance to play in Saturday night's gold medal game. Italy in the white-on-white, Ireland in the green-on-green, and the opening face-off. The top face-off man in this tournament, Angelo Venuto, wins one cleanly from Rory Dunbar, and we're underway. Marty, the conditions are not good.
That might be the understatement of the day, Ralph, right there. I worked a few games earlier today. We had black clouds and rain. I thought that was the heavy stuff. I think right now we're experiencing pretty heavy weather, and it's been like this for several hours. The field is definitely, it's doing its best, but in all honesty, this game was meant to have been on the field turf, or the turf over on field 1, and I think that we're better off here. Footing will be a little bit better, hopefully.
Italy, the highest scoring team in this tournament. Ryan Bell on the attack. There's a bouncing shot that beats Joe Walsh. The bouncer from Mitchell Zulian will start the scoring. Attended Brock University, Burlington, Ontario native, bumping up to the top midfield spot early in the tournament to make it 1-0.
Yeah, that's a really nice take there, Ralph. Just sort of a simple little dodge there, bounce shot. You might see a lot of those today. I think that, you're not going to know what kind of bounce you're going to get. The ball might be skimming in there. That's a nice take against a short stick midi, and a really good start the way Italy would like to have had it.
Italy coming in off of an 18-9 winning over Czechia yesterday, the 8th seed on the 1-8 quarterfinal. Head coach Brian Vona, head coach also of Lincoln Sudbury High School in Massachusetts, called it our best performance yet. We played great. Venuto, this time, had to earn it a little bit more on the face-off. He's taken the first two. And Italy with possession with Ryan Bell on the attack. The Piatelli brothers, John Piatelli and younger brother Brian, both played at Cornell. Mitchell Zulian on the midfield with Matteo Corsi, plays at Brown University. And Gabriel Serbu, who is a native from Italy. In goal for Ireland is the aforementioned Joe Walsh, who's had a strong tournament. Down the left alley, Piatelli misses on the look. Defensively, Ireland has been tremendous. Close D-man, Brendan Force, James Fennessy, and Patrick Smith, the long pole midi, with Patrick McShane. This has arguably been the most difficult group to score on in this tournament. Bell in front, and Walsh digging it out of the mud, makes the save. The bouncer came from Serbu.
I'll tell you, a great look right there for Italy. Love the approach, love the quick stick shot, and Joe Walsh was equal to it. Really nice save in some tough conditions. Ball's away.
Fennessy loses the ball, trying to come up with the clear. And Piatelli, the pickup, John Piatelli. And off it went to Corsi, so Italy has yet to have to play defense. They've had to play very little of it due to the Venuto factor in this tournament. Ireland yesterday, Marty, just to sum up what kind of high they're coming in on, they defeated the 4-seed Germany yesterday convincingly, 12-6. And the shot hits the pipe with the shot by Corsi.
Yes, I'll tell you, in Ireland right here looking to clear, and they had a botch clear the last time. McShane has a positive job here, but they're going to have to value their possessions today with that wonderful face-off guy that Italy has. So Ireland will get the first chance to see their offense right here, and they're hoping they can get something going in a 1-0 game.
Michael Ippoliti is in goal for Italy. His defense, very young, Stephen Pelliccioni, then Jake Gagliano, just graduated high school, and Owen Vona, who is in the high school class of 2026, a rising senior with long pole midi, native of Italy, Riccardo Gennari. On the drive, and that shot hits the pipe. Aiden Dempsey is able to tie the game on the rip, with the rebound coming out on the grass, 1-1.
That was a fortuitous bounce right there. Comes right to Dempsey. He picks it up and he buries it at the top of the net. Very similar pipe was hit on the other side, so it was interesting how two of those have happened right now. Some people thought they were both goals. They weren't. Pipe comes out. Dempsey with the finish. Nice shot, nice answer for Ireland right there in their first offensive possession.
Talking to coaches ahead of this one about these conditions. Bounce shots, of course, are going to be tricky. The expectation is velocity on shots may be a little bit less in terms of footing and getting your full body weight behind your shot, as Venuto and Rory Dunbar will meet all day. And now a false start against Venuto, which has happened extremely little. This is like my fourth Italy game. I can't recall, maybe more than one, as Ireland has possession.
Yeah, that's one of those things, you know, face-off men, they're quirky guys. Venuto very good at it, but they try to jump. They try to watch the referee's cadence right there. Just a hesitation ahead. Nice call by the official. Ireland will have the ball here.
Connor Foley is bumped. Ireland with the settled possession. Jack Doherty, Aidan Dempsey, Kevin Somerville are the midfield with Connor Foley, Liam Horkin, and Patrick Corbett, coming off of his biggest game of the tournament yesterday in leading Ireland against the Germans, losing the handle, and it falls into the crease for Ippoliti.
Yeah, it's a nice little drive by Dempsey. I think he just sort of cradled and it fell out of his stick, so Ireland will look to ride right here. Italy on the clear.
Set to head to Jake Gagliano. And Italy with another possession, tied at 1. Brian Piatelli shoveled off looking for John Piatelli, and Joe Walsh will come up with it.
Really nice defensive stand right there by Ireland. Great slide communication by the men in green. And they will go down and have another offensive attempt here.
Corbett had an explosive first half yesterday with 3 goals and 2 assists to defeat the Germans. And that would account for all of his points in leading them to a 12-6 win. They led by 6 on numerous occasions, including 7-0 late second quarter before the Germans finally had an answer as the 4 seed lost. Meanwhile, Italy yesterday, 18-9 over Czechia. Fewest goals that Italy has scored in this tournament has been 14 in their opener against Greece.
Yeah, Ireland looking to possess the ball a little bit here. They're getting it around here. The coaches are calling some things out.
Popping out, Connor Foley, and a shot to give Ireland their first lead. 2-1 Ireland. Brosnan on the dish.
Yeah, that's a really nice look there. Pat Brosnan and Connor Foley both play on the same box team back in Massachusetts. They have, you know, a really good connection with one another. And anytime Connor Foley has a chance to get his hands free, he will be shooting. And that was a really nice shot for Connor Foley.
Faceoffs are now 2-1. They are facing off, if you notice from our camera, just off center, not in the mud and puddle. So it is just clean grass. Venuto reaching, and
big swing right there by the Italian player. Man, surprised that wasn't a slash right there.
It'll be decided on the wings, and Italy will have to earn this face-off win. It's now 3 out of 4.
We have a flag on the play. Unfortunate for Ireland because we had a big slash by number 8 from Italy. Wasn't called. They did go swinging a little bit there too with men in green. Not saying it wasn't a slash, but I was about to comment figuring they were letting the guys play today as they passed on the other one, but they will get a slash on Ireland. We have a flag down situation for Italy.
Corsi, Brian Piatelli. John Piatelli setting an NCAA record with 66 goals scored his senior year, his 5th year in 2023. Brian Piatelli, then easy look to go short side on Joe Walsh. That will check on the flag.
So it appears that so I guess I stand corrected, and I will. I mean, there wasn't a slash there. They had an interference right there, or a hold of some sort. Yeah. It's a technical foul, wasn't the slash. So that it is. I think right now, in talking to the officials before the game, talk to the crew chief, the people who are supervising. You know, we have a really, really, especially good group on here. These guys have been in big games before, and you know, happy to see who they have.
Our first semifinal later on. A matchup between England and Israel tonight at 7 p.m. local time. Here we are at 5:30 local time in Wrocław. The shot is taken and a save is made by Walsh. The step down fading away a little bit by Gabriel Serbu. Ireland will have it, and Italy one and done.
So that was one of those issues where Walsh didn't have the ball in his stick, so it wasn't goal interference. We don't get a free clear. Ireland doesn't on this. He will get the ball back. Sean Holland, as we mentioned before, athlete, former collegiate football player at Fordham and UCLA, clears the ball, gets it up to Pat Brosnan.
Foley gave Ireland the lead last possession. Played nearly 10 minutes of an exciting semifinal. Winner of this game also clinches a spot in Japan for the 2027 World Championships. Latvia defeating the 6, defeating the 7. France earlier today in the consolation portion of this bracket. And the winner will play for the gold medal on Saturday night here in Poland. Foley looking to draw a slide and interference. Now take the shot. And Ippoliti with a good read. Ireland having backup. And off the whistle, Patrick Corbett.
Yeah, Corbett, as you mentioned, was so good against Germany last night.
This is Songer taking the shot, and Jack Songer, and a good trail check coming from behind on Italy.
Really nice defensive play there. Dug his stick in, sort of, almost like a can opener type maneuver right there. Really like that. Flag down.
Aggressive turn on the corner by Foley, and Foley will score. With the flag out, Ireland leads 3-1. And now another flag coming out after the goal.
Yeah, the first one there, I think we're going to have a hold on that. That will be wiped out with the goal, just from my perspective. And the second one's going to be of the dead ball nature. We're going to have to see what the officials say.
We're watching our officials as they relay signals to the last official closest to the scores table. That is under the red tent. Again, it continues to rain if you can't tell from your picture. A steady rain for the last 2 hours. Goal is good. The first one is signaled.
Corbett's taking a seat.
Let's see if we had, and it's going to be 1 minute unsportsmanlike on Patrick Corbett. So some extracurricular or words said after the goal. So there'll be no face-off, and Italy will have a 1 minute man up, under 4 minutes left, first quarter.
Yeah, sometimes there might be a few choice words during the celebration. Happen right there. Corbett will have himself a seat for a minute, and we'll have no face. Italy will go man up. Ralph, this rain continues to sort of just pelt us over here. It's like a nice day. I was saying to someone coming up in the country in Ireland, this is the norm over there.
Fading away on the shot. John Piatelli, save made by Walsh as he looks for the outlet for McShane. So Italy got the ball where they wanted, but Piatelli was not able to get his feet underneath him to really put the velocity I think he intended on it. 3-1. Ireland gets the stop. And here 5 on 6 will try to eliminate the final seconds of the Corbett foul.
Yeah, they'll be content with probably holding the ball here, although they're looking to push.
Foley down inside and taking a look just as the penalty, actually the penalty is yet to expire. That was Jack Songer.
It is now expired. They're coming out all even. Doherty, remember, has those yellow cleats. Hopefully his grandmom's watching there so she can see him when he plays in the game.
Doherty bodies against the Diamini, will turn the corner, nice and fought off save by Ippoliti as he pursues, and he's going to get some help from his defense, and the pickup by the Italians, and they come up with the stop. Short stick Diamini, Michelangelo, Brusa Morello.
Two very strong goalies in this game right there. Ippoliti with a great save that, marked that one down on the sort of on your paper to say what was a big save. That one was big. That's the difference between being 3-1, 4-1 right there. Excellent save as they look to now translate that into their offense.
Italy came out and scored the first goal of the opening possession. Corsi taken out from his angle by McShane. Brian Piatelli. Pat Smith trying to defend. Lefty shot. A pro shot from John Piatelli, turning the corner to make it 3-2.
Yeah, John Piatelli's so smooth out there. Just sort of, he splits from right to left. Takes, you know, he sometimes almost lulls you to sleep. You think he's not going to the net, and then he does. He just glides when he runs. All three of the attackmen, too, very, excellent players. Nice finish for Piatelli with the bounce shot.
The Italians have been lauded all tournament that they have the top attack group. John and Brian Piatelli, Ryan Bell, their quarterback. Bell, single-season assist record holder at Providence, just finishing up his career on a real high. First team All-Big East. John Piatelli, of course, having a cup of coffee in the PLL, now playing indoor in the NLL. Face-off against Venuto. So the call whistled down, and it's 3-2.
Yeah,
in that face-off category.
Yeah, fortunate for Ireland right there. I mean, Venuto is, he's, as we said, one of the best face-off guys, if not the best face-off guy we've seen in this tournament. He's jumped 2 of those. He's had 2 pre-whistle violations. The ball goes to Ireland, attempt for them to maybe stretch this lead to 4-2.
Horkin swings for Corbett. Now facing the D-midi. And the drop-off room in time for Sanger as he popped out wide of Ippoliti. No shot clock in the international game. Game clock at 12 seconds. Here, final few seconds of the quarter. It will stop on any whistle inside of 30 seconds, the first 3 or the last 2 minutes of the fourth. Sanger, maybe one more chance with 2 seconds. Feed to the front, Brosnan, broken up by Ippoliti. And that takes care of the first quarter from rainy Wrocław, Poland. The conditions certainly affecting the way this game is played. It has been raining all afternoon. This field has taken a beating. But at the end of one, it's the 5-seed Ireland leading the 1-seed Italy. 3-2 as we head to the second quarter on Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV. Second quarter, so both teams able to get adjusted to the conditions. As Angelo Venuto right now 3 out of just 5 against Rory Dunbar of Italy. As he pushes it forward, and Venuto, who has scored nearly double-digit, I think he has 8 goals in this tournament, including a 3-goal game. He wins that faceoff. Had a chance to catch up with Angelo Venuto a couple of days ago. So he scored 41 goals in college. This one left for Ryan Bell, and he said basically all but probably one was on the face-off rush. Feet to the front, John Piatelli
Nice
got the
look.
pass from behind. Ryan Bell was waiting for him. They made eye contact. His second, and it's 3-all.
Yeah, really nice. Again, the attack unit here, like we said, they two of them are brothers. Bell, just the assist man that he is. Really nice look, great feed, great vision and finish right there. I mean, Piatelli's a professional scorer. He's going to finish that no matter what. Really nice look, 3-3. Nice answer by Italy.
Venuto this time stood up by Dunbar, and Venuto still shows great toughness here on that face-off win. He goes 5'9", 190 from Sudbury, Mass. This is special for him because he's playing for his high school coach in Brian Vona from Lincoln-Sudbury Regional. And Brian has known Angelo since the 5th grade. He's always been tough, and he is not surprised. Brian Vona is not surprised how well Angelo Venuto is doing in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you I've known Brian Vaughn and his family. I've officiated his Lincoln Sudbury games. He's an excellent coach, runs a top-notch program in Massachusetts. He's been a multi-time state champion. Nice take right there.
Matteo Corsi able to get downhill and really wind up. Italy leads again. It's 4-3.
Yeah, Corsi, that's just a simple, power dodge to his right hand. On the run, rip, beats the goalie high. Nice take by Corsi on that. You mentioned he was a Brown product, correct?
Yes, he plays a Brown, yep.
Good for him.
Yep.
It's amazing how many of these guys are in my backyard. I live just outside of Boston. A lot of local talent there with connections to both Ireland and Italy.
Dunbar was given the game ball after yesterday's performance against the Germans. Venuto, and he'll take another. So he is starting to be the master and make adjustments. He's now taken 6 out of 8. And just to finish up that point, Venuto finished his senior year this year 66% in his 5-year career at Division III RPI, the Engineers in the Albany area. 62% for his career. 4 years he was the #1 face-off man at RPI. Probably could have grad transferred to the Division I level, said he loved his time at RPI. But 41 career goals, strictly just off of your own fast break. That's what shocked me the most.
Yep.
When you score that many, you think the midfielder stays on some. It was all fast break for him. Zulian frees himself and ripped one over the top of Joe Walsh. Bell had backup. And the matchup's fascinating to see how Ireland and who they put on who to start this game. Swung up top for Corsi. Corsi considered and met head on by Sean Holland. Difficult man to break down, particularly on this wet grass. Now Gabriel Serbu. And then Serbu trying to go across as Italy will keep it. Italy has spent a ton of time, as you would imagine, on offense during this tournament. So they have had even more time than everybody else to establish chemistry. Getting up to take the shot, Brian Piatelli. Joe Walsh is able to make the save, then loses it almost into his cage. And Pat Smith on target for Brendan Forst.
No, they had enough back. They had enough back. They were not offside right there. They had enough. They made it look like an offside right there as Shears was hustling back, but they had 4 guys back for Ireland. There's no offsides. And with 4 officials out there counting, they will call the offsides if it is correct.
Connor Shears playing for Ireland to add to their LSM midfield depth. He had been injured. And seemingly every team has been missing key guys in this tournament. But these 2 teams in particular have now gotten as healthy as you can hope for with no one sitting out. That's not the case for almost everybody else. Foley trying to go low to high there and sweeping to his favorite spot with the right hand dodge.
That is classic Connor Foley, wing dodge, getting to the middle and letting it fly. I've not seen anybody disallow him to get to that middle yet.
Liam Horkin waits for the cutter. Outside of Cubs, Kevin Somerville will try the bouncer. Somerville shot the ball well yesterday against Germany on the slick turf, including scoring the game's opening goal. He would finish with 2 goals and 2 assists. Now go to the jump shot. Foley may have hit the pipe, the side piping. Somerville chases, and it will be Italy with the crown ball pickup. Swooping ahead is Owen Vona, just 17 years old. He's already committed to RPI to follow in the footsteps of Venuto. Ahead of his senior year, and Italy will put on the brakes. They've scored 3 straight to take the lead. Under 8.5 left of this opening half. Winner will take on either England or Israel. The winner also clinches a spot in the 2027 World Championships. Latvia earlier today celebrating with a team picture. They will be in Japan in 2027. Bell again with the defender hung up forced. Bell now will circle, look to the backside. Bell now the throwback, Mitchell Zulian. And Zulian, a lefty that's added to this midfield, complementing it. Race to the end line, and both players jump in the pool. It is signaled Italy ball. Good hustle, though, that time by Matt Palmieri of Ireland to make that close.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think Doherty should be happy he got away with one there. I mean, I think the nice thing is these officials are kind of letting these boys play out there. Got a little high, a little loose with his stick right there. I thought it might have been up in the head area, neck area, but got away with it. No call. Play on. Wasn't disadvantaged.
Zulian swings for Bell. Looked for the cutter, Serbu. And a designed play on the weak side appearing by the Italians. Italy had an optional practice yesterday, Brian Vona saying, but everybody showed up and devoted to this. So they went through their training with, as Brian Piatelli had it knocked out of his hands from behind. Good trail check by Palmieri, where the Italian players, the natives of Italy, went through kind of the same training, and the American players really showed them some of the finer things when they go through their drills. And that's kind of how they approached it, some finite, kind of near individual training taking place.
Really good to see Connor Shears out there for Ireland. He's missed every game prior to this point. He's had a nagging injury. He's tried to, keep a positive attitude about it. Clearly loves being around the teammates, but it's been tough because he knows that he can contribute. He was a great player. He had a time at Bucknell and also at Jacksonville, so he's a heck of a defenseman. He's good to have him back for Ireland.
Horkin frees up his hands. Ippoliti able to see it through the raindrops.
And that's stick side high for Horkin. He's going to want to move the goalie a little bit more than that. He's got to be careful he doesn't get a slash over there. Italy transitions to offense.
Luca Lietti drops it off for Italy. Under 6 minutes left. Bell races across, had the cutting John Piatelli, and it just missed. But then the ball ahead, here comes Sean Holland. Holland pushing numbers, leading to a 4-on-3. The return, Holland down low, sprawling save, Ippoliti on Foley. Ippoliti's out of cage. It's raked ahead. Ippoliti will continue, and McShane will pull it out as Ippoliti retreats. Now Foley frees his hands, frees himself to tie the game at 4.
I'll tell you, Ralph, what an exchange that just was. I mean, I've been watching lacrosse for many years on a slick field. Unbelievable save by Ippoliti on the fast break from Ireland. McShane, it started at the defensive end with the unbelievable ground ball to push the transition. What a finish right there. And a great check, too, on Foley. Almost dislodged him, thought it might, and then he gets it past Ippoliti. That was some exchange we just saw right there on this rainy day.
You saw the water come up, the mud kind of pop up, too. Venuto draws it back, and near the restraining line, still picks it up.
Nice grab right there. That ball skimmed a little bit. Ippoliti equal to it. Nice grab. He'll look to clear.
His goal, I can't remember who it was against now, Marty. You might help me.
I honestly don't recall. I saw it all over social media. It was a beauty.
But maybe not in these conditions will Michael Ippoliti try to score another goalie goal that he's had in this tournament.
He's very athletic, though, so, I mean, sometimes he can't help in the clearing game. He can carry over, but you'd like to think that he's like to find someone named, Piatelli or Bell to give that ball to when he does cross the 50.
Sean! John Piatelli all the way to cage, took the bump. That was a physical dodge, and he got his feet underneath him. 3 goals for John Piatelli, and Italy leads again.
Well, John Piatelli is just, that's just a wonderful take by a very talented player. I mean, I can recall when he was in college at Cornell watching games and listening to, Anish and Quint and those guys calling a game and them making such a big deal about him, seeing his picture on the bottom. I can remember saying, really nice Massachusetts kid, played in the ISL. He just carries it over here. He's a professional. He's a great scorer. It's a nice take.
Ireland once led 3-1. Since then, John Piatelli has scored 3 goals. Venuto, and now he's taken 8 out of 10.
I mean, Venuto just has so many, he's got a skill bag that is just gigantic. He was winning forward before, now he's winning backward. He's very talented face-off man.
Yeah, interesting point, Marty. Talking to Brian Vone, he said, yes, the conditions are certainly going to affect Venuto in terms of his speed face-off, as I'll call it, where he could push it forward. That's where he's created so much transition for himself and his teammates. But I'd say the last 3, he's drawn it back with the timeout taken by Italy. 2 minutes and just under 2.5 minutes left to go, so Italy spends their first timeout. But he's gone backwards the last couple, and perhaps a subtle adjustment to the conditions, and maybe it is easier.
Well, if you think about, where he's winning right now, they're going slightly to the side of that muddy area. If he wins it out to his left side and goes forward, his footing might be a little bit rough in that muddy area, so that could play into his decision-making. But, he's going to have counters to counters to counters. He's a talented face-off guy.
Italy will have the ball coming out of the box in a great battle here. You and I were excited to see, in terms of matchups, who will guard who.
Yep.
Under clear and dry conditions. Obviously, this changes things.
Frankly, I think it might slow Venuto down a little bit playing on this grass field in the muddy field. I mean, on the turf, he's lightning quick. He wins forward often. He'll literally get fast breaks, on a high percentage of his face-off. So I think that, and Coach was correct in saying it might slow him down. I think it potentially has, but his ability to clamp and put the ball where he wants to, he's really, really adept at that.
Winner of this one will take on the winner of the other semifinal between England and Israel. England the 2, Israel the 3 seed. They will get started at 7 o'clock local time. And it is a final in the other game where 8-seeded Czechia has defeated Germany, the 4 seed.
That's a
9-8 final.
Good for them.
And that is an overtime winner for Kaden Vlasimski of Czechia. So that marathon just ended there. And that's the 3rd overtime game of these European Championships. Quick pickup there by Corsi as the pass that went through the stick of Brian Piatelli. Bell with 1:45 on the clock. Brian Piatelli will try. Low save made. Walsh. Oh, the mud will definitely slow down any rebound. Now is this player down for Ireland in the crease. As he and John Piatelli. He and John Piatelli both were tangled up, Marty, and it's John Piatelli, I think, that is being summoned to the box.
So it's going to be a 30-second technical they're going to have. So it's going to be a free clear to Ireland. They will have a man-up opportunity. The clock has been stopped, so that penalty won't start until after they initiate play at the midfield. It will be Ireland ball at the 50. Midfield. Although,
and
maybe
the concern
5
for
might
Matt,
be going too.
for Matt Palmieri is he heads off. I think the whistle was blown for the injury concern. Palmieri is able to get to his feet. John Piatelli is in the box.
And we have 2 penalties then, we do? Okay.
Yeah, I was watching Matt Palmieri.
So
he has gone to the box.
This is an interesting instance. We have, sort of simultaneous fouls right here. So there will be no free clear because they're even in this. So normally on a time-serving penalty, you'd get the ball on a free clear. But in this case, we have 2 penalties on the same one to each team. We'll go 5-on-5.
The field now opened up for Ireland as they look to tie. Brosnan, a lot of room and time on the top of the box, and Ippoliti makes the save. Late slide from Italy. Ippoliti trying to throw it ahead for Ryan Bell, and it'll go out of bounds. Bell was kind of hoping to play it forward for himself like a soccer player.
That last look, I think Brosnan might have sort of, it's a timeout here called by Green. But getting back to that thought, I think that Brosnan sort of, a goalie with the sort of pedigree that Italy's has here, with Ippolito, that's not a shot that's likely going to beat him. You have to move the goalie. So unless there's a screen in front, your hands free. Unless you really sting a corner, you're not going to beat him. He was equal to it. Ireland, though, nice defensive play. Will gain possession coming out of this timeout because, frankly, the defenseman made a really nice play, causing the ball to go out of bounds.
57 seconds left. The loser is guaranteed a top 4 spot.
So they'd be already punched their ticket for Japan. All these teams have. They're in a semifinal, correct?
Yeah. Yes, because they're in a semifinal, but the winner advances to the gold medal. Yeah. Czechia, with their win over Germany, they have cemented their spot now in Japan. That's what the celebration is underway, and Germany will now take on France tomorrow, on Saturday, in the 7 versus 8 spot game. The top 7 teams here in the European Championship qualify for Japan in 2027. The winner of that game between France and Germany will go to Japan. The loser will not, and will head to the Division II tournament, which is a newly created World Championship. Spots 8 through 21 out of Europe. 8 through 21 in this tournament will qualify. A trail check jars the stick away from Connor Foley, but as he pursues...
He really is great at riding falls down, getting played. Green ball. That was an unbelievable check there, by Italy. Number 19, Pelliccioni. De-twigged Foley, caught his own stick. Brosnan was there.
Throwback for Aiden Dempsey. Dempsey with an angle. Ippoliti the save, but the rebound is touched in. That's
nice
Patrick
finish.
Brosnan able to put it in.
So right there, that was a great, we had Aiden Dempsey, we had short time right there. Aiden Dempsey loves to go to the net, goes to the net, great save, Ippoliti. Rebound comes up, and a wonderful finish by Brosnan, who I had just sort of been slightly critical of the shot selection. Love to see him come back and score that on a quick stick. Beats the goalie, big goal for Ireland right there. This game, I knew on paper it was going to be a battle, and it's been really exciting here, Ralph, I have to say.
Venuto kicks it forward, pursues, and still picks up the first chance ground ball. Second timeout of the half for Italy with 12 seconds left. So we'll have it outside the box and have a chance for a shot and perhaps just to take the lead with them into the half. 5-5 game. Ireland jumped out 3-1, and for Venuto, the faceoffs are now 9-2 in his favor, including 7 straight. So he has gotten adjusted to Rory Dunbar Dunbar was given the game ball after yesterday's win over Germany with the way he faced off. That was a concern of Ireland, how they would do against the Germans there. But he quickly diffused those thoughts as Ireland came out, won face-offs, and put together a strong first 2 quarters, and they never looked back. And meanwhile, for the Italians, they ran away with a big lead over Czechia, and they won their game very comfortably, setting up this semifinal between the 1 seed and the 5. One more game left between England and Israel as it continues to rain. And that'll take place on the very slick field, the turf field, which has greatly impacted the play. I think the turf field now has, having seen the weather here,
Yep.
Marty, for a couple days, I think the play is affected less on the grass field here than it is on the turf.
I would have to say I agree with you on that. I was on this field earlier today calling a Portugal game, and at halftime they brought all of the coaches from the Final Four teams. They did a walkthrough with the facilities people, with the World Lacrosse people, and they basically made a decision at that point.
It's an over and back on the deflection by McShane. That's the end of the first half. So, 5th-seeded Ireland and top-seeded Italy are tied at 5 as we have hit halftime. It's the first time that Italy has been tied at the half in this tournament. 5 apiece. We'll take a pause for 10 minutes and be back to Wrocław, Poland. You're watching the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship on Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV.
Commercial break! We've been really busy over the past 2 years developing our very own women's lacrosse stick.
We are really, really proud of it. So stop by the shop. We would love to tell you more about it.
Good Stick Co. Come get a stick. Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
tied at 5, top-seeded Italy and number 5 seed Ireland. Both teams unbeaten in this tournament. This is our first semifinal. 2-seeded England, 3-seeded Israel getting ready to go at the top of the hour. Ralph Bednarchuk alongside Marty Horkin. Off the face-off, Angelo Venuto.
With holding potential there. Didn't call it.
And this time the face-off is won by Patrick Corbett, who just faced off for the first time. And we have flags flying.
So Patrick Corbett takes the face-off in a change of sort of plan here. There wasn't, from what I recall, from what I've heard, is that he did take face-offs, I believe, in San Diego at a point. He's a gritty player. He's sort of a jack of all trades. Had a bunch of assists and goals yesterday. Really, sort of was awesome for Ireland yesterday. And nice job to muck it up in there. Those guys were in that sand that was being filled out. Interesting play. Ireland comes up with it.
30-second man-up begins for Italy. And thanks to intern Jack Watson, he poured sand over midfield and in both creases and around the goal line to prepare. Behind the back, the shot, Corbett got it from Liam Horkin. Back up here with Somerville. We hope it'll hold up. It does appear that the rain has subsided a little bit, but this field has taken some damage over the last day and a half. We are all even.
That was a really nice attempt right there. Corbett with the behind the back attempt, and that wasn't attempt to be flashy. He was trying to gain a little bit of angle right there.
Dempsey swings and sails it past Somerville. Italy will have it for the first time. Well, if you're Brian Vona, you tied at 5, your first competitive game at this point. Marty, what do you think he told this team?
I mean, I think that what he's going to, I think both teams have probably told themselves, let's keep it within our helmets here. Let's not get too high, not get too low. I think that the face-off game, the possession's going to Italy. If it keeps going that way, they'll have the chances, they'll have possessions. And I think that, just keep discipline, and I think that we're going to be okay on both ways. They have to be happy with it, but I think that, this Italian team has not played a super competitive game yet. They've been up a lot, nor is Ireland for that matter. As much as yesterday was dubbed to be. They're up 6-0 early. So I think we have a very evenly matched game with some great players out here.
Matteo Corsi able to break the clear. Brian Piatelli and taken off of his angle by Connor Shears. And Italy will have to earn it 6-on-6.
And you could see Shears just dig in right there, get his stick on the hips, of Piatelli and force him wide. That was a good strength play, a veteran player. Good to have him back for Ireland. They must be very happy that he's able to play.
John Piatelli with 3 of the 5 for Italy across to his brother Brian. First time those two have connected today. 6-5 Italy.
Yeah, it seems like, it's really nice. Clearly, brothers are going to have some sort of connection right there. Brian was on the backside sitting right off the pipe. Caught that ball, one move, shot it low. Really nice goal. Nice assist by his brother.
He rocketed the pass, cross cage, and Brian Piatelli puts it away. How many times have they probably done that on some field somewhere? Venuto facing Patrick Corbett for the second straight time, and this time Venuto wins it cleanly, going backwards. Going backwards has become the area for success. Most of this tournament, Venuto has gone forward. He'll drop it off, and Italy back to work with the lead and possession.
I think, too, if you think about Ireland's last possession, they had a turnover, and those do happen. Sticks are wet, things like that. But they really have to value every time they possess the ball, especially with the Venuto face-off ability.
Corsi forced to shoot with his offhand, his right hand, and Walsh is able to handle the bouncer.
That's a big-time save by Walsh right there, though.
All right, boys. First competitive game in the third quarter for both teams. And by competitive, meaning inside of even 5 goals in the second half. Brosnan could not turn the corner on Lietti. Horkin locates Songer, cutting to cage. Ippoliti makes the save high.
Big save by Ippoliti right there. That's another one. That's just that's one of those ones we say about a goalie is you make the saves you should make and try to steal a couple. Well, I'd mark that as the second one he's stolen in tight from an Irish attacker. And I think sometimes, too, I mean, he's not the tallest in stature. Sometimes people might think that the scouts to go high on him. I find that he explodes off his line, gets to those high balls, and really does a good job. Saw that yesterday in watching the game. They went high a lot, but he made a lot of saves.
Italy with it again. Michael Ippoliti is impressed, getting ready for his next year, his sophomore year at Syracuse. Farmingdale, New York on the island. Also have been impressed, Marty, with the reading of shots, knowing where the ball, where the shot location, almost half the battle.
I mean, think about the shots he sees on a daily, on the practice, whether he's playing scout team, getting second look runs, I mean, whatever it is, he's seeing some unbelievable shooters in Syracuse.
Dell will swing for Corsi. Matt Palmieri will force him back. No shot clock, in case you were not aware, in the international game. It's coming in 2027. Everybody seems to be very on board with it, even internationally. John Piatelli, with Walsh retreating to goal. Walsh recovered to make the save, and Italy has backup.
Yeah, Walsh quickly there went for a double team as Piatelli turned his back and then hustled back to the cage to try to make the save, hit the pipe.
Zulian trying to free up his left hand, and the save made with the stick by Walsh.
Yeah, we had a play on right there too. The Italian player went through the crease, so Ireland was going to have that ball regardless. Joe Walsh, nice save, and they looked to clear.
Down the middle, past the puddles, Patrick Corbett. Ireland still looking for their first goal of the quarter.
Still a one-goal game here. Ireland should be patient. Get a nice look, get the offense they want because the possession time sort of has swung in the Italians' favor because of that face-off advantage that they have. But they want to get a good look right here.
Foley trying to get to his spot, hesitates, then shoots. It's blocked. He
nice
got
save
to his location, but then had to stop his momentum. And now the transition chance for Italy. Brian Piatelli, 3-on-3, continues through, takes the overhand shot.
Yeah, another nice save by Ippoliti right there.
And officials timeout, and they will check on Connor Shears, who this is an injury stoppage on the clock with 7 minutes and plus left. Remember, Shears, as we said, this is his first game of the tournament, and something in his left leg.
Yeah.
So he'll head off. Everybody has been experiencing something here, that the lack of recovery time. There's a rule if you can play games within a 14-hour period, so there have been some very difficult turnarounds. It might be the next day, but it's not full rest. Fortunately, the winners of today's semifinals, they'll get Friday off and play Saturday night to be as fresh as possible, while the loser of this game will have to take on, double check who they would play next, as here is Zulian. The loser of this game will have to play tomorrow. John Piatelli, as Smith falls down on him. John Piatelli's able to get up. John Piatelli low. And now the late flag coming out after the shot, and Italy will go man up.
We're going to get a hold right there on Ireland. Piatelli, unbelievable play where he sort of fell down. Ireland defender sort of fell on top of him, retained possession, got up, got a legitimate scoring chance, shot off, was held in the process. So we'll get to see the Italy man up team out there in 30 seconds.
Loser of this game will play in the bronze medal game. That'll be tomorrow at 7 o'clock local time. And that'll be against the loser of the England-Israel game. Man up for 30 seconds. Bell out to Corsi. Shot hits the post. We get a clean look at it coming our way. Zulian will keep it. Final seconds in the man up.
Things tend to stay in bounds with this wet grass right there. Penalty has expired.
All even, Italy gets one shot. Bell. Oh, he had Zulian, rather John Piatelli, and a rare drop from the All-American as Sean Holland pushes for Ireland.
Holland really, showing his speed right there. Nice ground ball, clears the ball. Ireland will have a chance to get an offensive possession right here. After a nice man down, Italy had a good look, hit a pipe. We'll have a timeout. Oh, ball on the field. Official time.
That's from the warm-ups taking place ahead of the game coming up at the top of the hour between 2-seeded England and 3-seeded Israel. Horkin.
Got
An aggressive switch by Michele Pancani, captain of the Italians. Horkin will continue the dodge. Aiden Dempsey takes a jab and then a chop check.
We still have a switch right here. Horkin has a short stick. As an attackman, they might want to exploit that. So now they're going to go big, small, down, hope to get a switch and get the shorty on Foley, which would be ideal for Ireland.
Foley all the way to the front. And the shot is wide. Italy is there on the backup. A long defensive stand for this young Italian defense.
And that's a really heady play by Italy to have someone in a position to back that ball up right there. Ireland got the switch they wanted. Foley had a short stick on him. It's just that no one was at back to back up that errant shot.
Owen Vona, and he sails that pass. So Ireland just sped up Owen Vona on the ride. Ireland back with it with under 3.5 to go. Third quarter, still a 6-5 game.
Yeah, most of these games, especially for Italy, they've been in track meets, like you mentioned, scoring 18 goals in some games, winning by many, many. So both teams are in sort of uncharted waters for this tournament in such a tight game this late in it.
Brosnan rolls away nicely from Pancani. Foley, again with forward momentum, hit an Italian defender. Looking at his hand, that's Jake Gagliano, product out of Syosset High School, where he played for Division II All-American, actually Division I at the time, out of Delphi, John Calabria. Foley trying to free his hands up, could not. Brosnan, path to cage, gave it up. Overhead shot wide by Doherty. With his back to goal, it almost went.
Right there, we have a lot of doubles coming, people getting doubled and tripled. Ireland has to move the ball, find the open man. They did find it there. I'm not sure that the overhead shot is necessarily what they had drawn up late in the quarter.
Ryan Bell, probably the best wheels on the field, next to Sean Holland. Quickness versus speed. Between those two, he comes up with the clear.
You'd think Italy will be content to sort of hold for one here. They have to be careful, make sure they're at least moving forward. They would get a stall warning thrown on them, but they may not look for quick offense, but
Corsi with momentum to Cage. Zulian has the D-midi Wiseman.
Been impressed with Wiseman as a D-midi St. Lawrence product. His dad's on the coaching staff here for the Ireland team.
Brian Piatelli thought about it.
And that's Costello, who came in for shears on Piatelli.
They had the cutting Zulian, and sprinting forward with the ball is Joe Walsh. As he fires ahead for Corbett.
Nice
and then
play
Corbett
right
had
there.
it taken away by Gagliano. Well, Jake Gagliano had to have a perfectly timed check. Feet across, and Bell will deposit. Surbu threw it ahead. All started by the terrific open field play by Jake Gagliano. Italy has its first 2-goal lead.
Yeah, Gagliano with a great play right there. Ireland looked to have some momentum. They had they didn't have numbers, but it was 3-on-3. Italy, you would think, are back on their heels. They had the momentum downfield moving forward, and just a great play to dislodge the ball. Then have the presence of mind to move it upfield, and they found a wide open pass on the crease for the finish.
Bell for the first time, Gabriel Surbu of Romanian heritage. Romania does not yet have an organized team, but he lives in Italy. Venuto wins it back. And now the number increases to 11 out of 14 for him. Final 10 seconds of the third. Bell swings back, John Piatelli. Trying to fight his way to the front, got a shot off. Walsh will pin it to the mud.
Joe Walsh, big save right there. If Piatelli is able to get that one by him right there, we're going to have a momentum swing right there. Great save.
Italy gets both goals of the quarter. An early one from Brian Piatelli. And then Bell late off of a turnover. 7-5, the top seed. Italy leading the 5 seed Ireland in his Men's European Lacrosse Championship semi-final. Winner to the gold medal game on Saturday from Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV. Angelo Venuto continues his face-off dominance of this tournament. Now 12 out of 15 as he races away from Ireland and gets Italy the ball again. There hasn't been a game where perhaps his low has been perhaps 85% in terms of percentage on the low end.
No, looking at it coming into the game, we knew that was going to be a point of emphasis and an advantage for the Italian team. And it seems that after that first quarter, little feeling out, it sort of has slid to their advantage in a big way.
John Piatelli fading away, took the shot. And Walsh, I think glad he did from that distance. So now Ireland to try to come up with a clear one. A sliding grab made there by Forst.
Really nice play by Forst right there. looked like an outfielder chasing after a fly ball in a baseball game.
Yeah, to handle the blooper coming in from center field. Except the play ends when you catch the ball. He had to get up and then make the next pass.
We had a similar one last night with Germany, if you recall. There was a crazy one where he caught it on the ground, sort of in a slippery situation.
Exactly,
So,
another NFL-type play, making a catch and a toe tap at midfield.
I noticed they're bumping the long pole over to Dempsey. Dempsey, former collegiate attackman at Ohio Northern, loves to dodge, very comfortable on that. But he has been drawing short sticks prior to today, so they'll elect to go with Brosnan with the short stick.
Connor Foley has scored 2 of the 5 for Ireland. He's trying to get to the top and get himself going in that third and walking his way through and getting somewhat of a shot off. It was Aiden Dempsey.
Yeah, nice active stick by Italy right there to sort of bother that shot.
Horkin to the other side. Dempsey will fire. Horkin again, and Ippoliti challenges the shot. He came up with a stick save, but the pickup by Patrick Corbett. Foley briefly turned the corner and met on by Lietti. What a D-middy he is. The throwback, Brosnan looks to circle in front, shot it across the cage. It is backed up by Kevin Somerville, so Ireland keeps it. Somerville tried to feed out front. Ireland trying to make the most of every possession. Now the official blows this dead as some kind of a piece of equipment is down. And actually I think the cap
came off.
Yeah, the butt end of one of the sticks, so good job by the official. That could be very dangerous, that exposed steel.
And that was a nice time to sort of put a pause to the play. Didn't hurt anything. Safety first.
Horkin comes out in front, got topside, and a difficult bouncer jammed into the dirt. Beats Ippoliti.
Yeah, in that instance, Horkin being an attackman, he's had a short stick on him for quite a while. Italy didn't swap back out, so, the big guy from Malden, Massachusetts comes through at X. He's defended, and he sort of reached over with that big reach that he has at about 6'4". Nice finish for Horkin. I know that his youth directors at home, Jim Cahill, he said to mention him today, he would be happy to see that goal.
Ireland earned the goal, about a 3-minute long possession. Makes it a 1-goal game, and Venuto wins it cleanly again from Rory Dunbar.
I don't know about you, Ralph, but this last 10:30, I'm really excited to see this 1-goal game. 2 great teams, wet field, but they're playing really great.
Ireland has kept pace with the top seed Italy. They had a 3-1 lead late in the first quarter. Angelino Venuto's face-off advantage, now 13 out of 16. Most of those uncontested ground balls.
And 2 of the losses were because he had a pre-whistle violation as well.
Brian Piatelli slips down.
Again, letting them play. Could have had a trip, might have in a different game, but a game of this stature, they want to let them play.
Corsi, as he was twisting in the air with a turnaround shot.
Yeah, nice question mark take by Corsi. They have the backup, so it's a possession shot.
John Piatelli, the feed inside. Brian Piatelli that tried to stuff it high to the stick side.
I'll tell you, I continue to be impressed with both of these goalies today. They're making some incredible saves in a difficult conditions. Both goalies have had some memorable saves out here, that being one of them for Ireland.
Walsh for Costello. And the ball gets some help from the thick grass. Ireland now with a chance to tie the game.
Yeah, their last possession was a sort of a very deliberate possession. They possessed for quite a bit. I think they want another one of those right here. Give their defense a break as well. Try to tie the game.
We've been tied 4 times. Foley trying to get back to his spot. Draws help. Dempsey. And the shot blocked. Getting over there was Riccardo Gennari. Long pole midi from Italy. Dempsey is able to find that ground ball. Ireland wins the scrap.
That was a really big ground ball right there. There was 3 green jerseys, 1 white jersey, comes up green. Short stick matchup for Foley right here. Early slide.
Foley locates the cutter,
Another
and Corbett
save.
is denied by Ippoliti.
Oh, Ippoliti, another beautiful save. Corbett, who's just been an offensive just juggernaut for this Irish team. Great save right there. Another one you could mark down for Ippoliti to sort of come back to and say, man, what a big save.
Ippoliti ahead for Corsi.
Great check.
3 players sliding down. It's a play on.
Nice ground ball there for Italy. No surprise Piatelli comes out with it. Good effort, though, for both teams.
Let's go defense! Bell and Italy just catching their breath with under 7 minutes to left. Different concept. Bell dodging from the wing. Now has the cutter. Oh, what a touch shot. Brian Piatelli. Bell put it up for him to go get and finish it 8-6.
Yeah, that's a really nice finish right there by Brian Piatelli. With a clogged middle right there, those two were able to find each other. Bell to Piatelli, nice goal for Italy. Looks like Ireland's going to put 2 poles. They're going to have one on the face-off, one on the wing. They're going to put a short stick D-midi down as a defenseman right now. They're sort of trying to change tactics a little bit here.
Venuto against McShane. McShane will bump him. Now McShane probably had a chance to rake the ball away from Venuto, but now they'll call it to Ireland.
Yeah, we thought he had the push. He had some sort of a ward or a hold prior to that. Ireland will have the ball. Down 2 with 5 minutes left. They want, this is an important possession right here for Ireland.
Clock will stop on any whistle under 2 minutes left. 8-6 Italy. Faceoffs now 13 out of 17 for Venuto.
And Ireland did a lot of this yesterday against Germany. They bring the short stick midi down, the midi with the shorty on him, and they try to facilitate from X. It's invert.
Brosnan, trail checked away, ball on the ground. Then it's kicked into the stick of Ippoliti, who comes out of traffic to come up with it. And Owen Vona, and as Vona carried, timeout is taken by Italy to preserve the possession. Well, Michael Ippoliti is more than just a goalie. In some ways, he plays free safety. In some ways, he's a blitzing linebacker where he is jumping up into plays that most goalies do not get themselves involved with.
Yeah, one wouldn't think that he'd be getting a ground ball in a scrum like that. It got booted out, went right in his big, sort of almost like a fishnet of a goalie stick, and then he moves the ball upfield. I will say, too, that great effort by Jack Songer coming back, getting in the hole, through a nice check. But, you have a savvy head coach, Brian Vaughna. He's been in big games before. It's a really smart possession timeout that he takes right there.
Now Italy up 2. Again, this is each team's most competitive game by far, particularly for Italy, where their margins of victory could have been 10 goals in all of them. And some cosmetic goals at the end of their games made them closer, and preserving some legs of the starters too. But that's how dominant Italy has been, the number 1 seed in this tournament, as their offense started off at a very high point with the Piatellis and Bell on attack. They have not had to tinker much. Brian Vaughna describing we've been able to add extra concepts to it. They've seen almost everything now from every other team.
Yep.
The only thing Ireland hasn't tried is a zone.
And at this point, you're not going to see that,
yep,
because in a 2-point game, they can't be back on their heels. They need to push out a little bit with just over 4 minutes left to go. And I will say, Ralph, I think the third team on the field here, the officials have done a really great job today letting them play. They've done an excellent job.
4 minutes left. Ryan Bell out of Smithtown, New York, Long Island. Serbu swung to the side, so Italy. Now the ISO for John Piatelli. Works on St. John's graduate, Pat Smith. Long passes have been an adventure due to some wet sticks, as this is a shot coming from Corsi. So you never know. Any pass past 15 yards has been capable of sailing. That's happened all day in Wrocław on numerous fields.
And offensively right there, Italy with the drive, down the alley, at this point, are they necessarily looking to score? I don't know. I mean, they can sort of hold the ball a little bit. They don't want to have that stall warning put on them, but, they're having some offense with good backup. So possession shot again right there. They do get to keep it in.
Yeah, the stall warning put on. Here with 3:05 left, Bell takes the shot. And to give the offense a reset. It's a different box here, in case this is your first game watching. The box extends from sideline to sideline. Brian Piatelli, fadeaway shot. Walsh will come up with a scoop before the end line.
And Patrick McShane broke his stick on that play. That's why you see him rush off the field.
Sean Holland motors ahead. Holland considers it and then played it back for Dempsey. However, just coming in off the bench, subbing in, Liam Horkin at the right time. Foley, time to go with 2:15 for Ireland. And then they'll have to solve the Venuto question, the mystery. Timeout taken by Ireland, first of 2 for head coach Matt Curran. 2:07 remaining, fourth quarter, 8-6 Italy, the 1 seed leading 5th seeded Ireland. Both teams have already clinched a spot in 2 years in Japan for the 2027 World Championships. But the winner will take on either England or Israel coming up in Saturday night's gold medal game. The loser will play in Friday night's bronze medal game against the loser of England-Israel.
Yeah, Ralph, and that England-Israel game is about to get teed off over there. They're both singing the anthems, almost ready to go. That's going to be a great one to see as well. But Ireland right here coming out of this timeout with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in this game, down by 2. They're going to want a quick goal here. Part of that is because they know that the next face-off, if, they've been going Italy's way, and that's a difficult thing because, even if Ireland were to score, if Italy were to win that next face-off, they can sit on the ball a little bit here. So Ireland, they'll have to have a quick hitter right here, but they need to get a goal in this possession if they have any chance to come back in this game.
Connor Foley still with 2 goals, has not been able to get himself into the high percentage areas. Goals here in the 4th quarter. Liam Horkin on a nice speed, more of a physical bull dodge, running away from Cage. And his bouncer beat Ippoliti. That made it 7-6 early 4th quarter. But then a slick feed, Ryan Bell, a little bit of a short 2-man game with Brian Piatelli has given the Italians some breathing room. But still 2:07 left. Again, the clock will stop on any whistle with under 2 minutes to go.
I've actually been impressed with the Italian defense today, Ralph. You know, you haven't heard too much about them coming into this game. It's been all about the offense and the face-off guy and the goaltending, and I think they've done a really good job.
Feed to the crease. Corbin fading away and puts it on the ground, and Ippoliti's able to see it. And now Italy to try to come up with a clear and then consider how to manage this clock.
Ireland's out into a 10-man ride right now. Goaltender's out of the crease, looking to be a free safety deep in there.
Bell checking back as the initial outlets, and out to Michel Zulian. Walsh retreating back to Cage for the moment. 1:25 left. Corsi will go to goal, and Matteo Corsi has put Italy up 3. 1:20 to play.
Yep, that's a nice take by Corsi right there. Ireland had been pressing out. Nice goal by him, puts them up by 3 with 1:20 left to go. And when you have the face-off advantage that they have, this is a tough situation for Ireland to be in.
And perhaps having the luxury of knowing, even if you miss, you always have the ultimate closer in Venuto just in case of a 1-goal game. What a different game it is.
Sure is.
With this kind of weapon, number 13 in white. Patrick McShane will face off for the 2nd straight time. The last time he was able to win it, a call against Venuto. Now Venuto pushes forward and will roll it back. So he makes the adjustment. And Italy can spread the field. As we'll hit 1 minute to play. Italy poured it on yesterday against Czechia, 19-8. Today, in the mud and the rain, particularly the first half, was an ugly scene. John Piatelli on the open goal, adds his 4th, and Italy will play Saturday night for the gold medal.
Yeah, Ireland right there, they're in a sort of a difficult situation. They bring Joe Walsh out of the net to try to help to be a defender. They need to score multiple goals right there in a short time. Nice take by Piatelli, just finishes, hits it in the open net to sort of put the nail in the coffin, if you will. I will say, though, the Irish defense, they just allowed the 10th goal right there, but, effectively keeping them at single digits to 10 goals is a big undertaking with this high-powered offense. But, again, I would speak to Ippoliti and net did a great job today. Defense of Italy's also been quite strong, even though they haven't gotten a lot of coverage coming into it. Early. Should be a flag right there for not giving him 5 yards. Won't do it at this point in the game, I imagine, but he definitely didn't get a 5 to start there.
On the approach and diving all the way through the crease with the goal. Ireland not finished yet. Aidan Dempsey, 10-7 with 38 seconds remaining.
Aidan Dempsey with just a bull dodge rush to the goal, diving finish. And I'll tell you, with this Irish team, I happened to watch Marcin last night with the interviews, and Rory Dunbar said that he had 21 of his Irish brothers here on this team. So it was really nice to see with the Carlow natives saying that. They've really come together this week, and they'll be a tough out for the 3rd place game, no doubt.
That'll take place tomorrow night, 7 p.m., 1900 hours in Wrocław. Venuto. This one stripped and grabbed by Palmieri.
Timeout called.
Timeout Ireland with 32 seconds remaining at 10-7. So hold on.
Yep, let's not We're going to tap the brakes right there. Big face-off. Great effort right there. Coming across a little, we're seeing a little sort of extracurricular kind of after the whistles with some little jabby stuff. Saw it down there when Piatelli scored. Took a little sort of quasi-swing. Similar thing right there with Ireland, with Palmieri. So timeout, 10-7. Ireland going to try to make it 8.
Ireland will look for a quick hitter, but they found success at the face-off X, the last 2, winning against Venuto. So right now it's 14 out of 20. Italy trying to hold on. They have never played for gold at the European Championship. Their best finish in a full tournament was 11th in 2004. Well, with Brian Vona, he has been working to raise the profile of the sport. On the men's side, they've done some good work on the women's side, and of course, loaded with North American stars from notable colleges, Division I players. Their breakdown is 11 from the States, 10 from Italy to try to mesh that together. Songer has Dempsey, the shot, it's in! That was a quick one, and it took just 6 seconds, 23 seconds remaining at 10-8.
And Aiden Dempsey catches a nice pass right there, beats Ippoliti over the left shoulder. And I characterize Aiden Dempsey, he's a gamer. That's what he is. He's sort of that kid, you can see dirty uniform over there. He's in the mud. He's happy to be there, loves to get to the net.
That'll be Patrick Corbett, who hasn't faced off in several against Venuto. And Venuto wins it cleanly to himself. He asks to spread the field.
Nice
and
check.
Then it's stripped away. Trail check by Corbett.
I'll tell you.
15 seconds to go. 2-goal game. Connor Foley. Clock running.
Wow.
Foley approaching the box. Then it's checked away from behind by Owen Vona. 6 seconds to go. The ball pointed over to Italy. They will clear it ahead, and Italy will celebrate their first appearance in the European Championship game in Poland. They hold off the 5-seed Ireland in a hard-fought game amidst a rainy day. 10-8. Italy holds on and advances to Saturday night.
I'm here with number 4, Aiden Dempsey from Ireland after a tough loss versus Israel. Aiden, you had a hat trick today. You had a great goal at the end there when you were trying to push it. When it was 7-10, you made it 8-10 with like 30 seconds left. You guys didn't give up. Tell me about the character of your team to stay this determined.
I mean, we're all gritty. We all love this. Like, growing up as a kid, you're messing around in the backyard. Mud pile is coming home dirty. So this is what you dream of. Rainy conditions, just like in Ireland, right? You can't dream it up. It's rainy. It's messy. It's what we all live for, really. We're a gritty team. We still got a medal to win, though.
Perfect. And so then, obviously, the mud, and the mud over there. You're saying you like these conditions? Is this your dream lacrosse weather right here?
It's not ideal, but, messy. It's lacrosse, It's gritty. Other than that, dirty. Nothing a shower can't fix, though.
Awesome. And then tomorrow, you're going to go into the bronze game. How are you feeling about that one?
Just some sleep, and we're going to win. That's all on our mind. Just bronze now.
That is Aiden Dempsey, number 4 from Ireland, here in the European Men's Lacrosse Championships in Wrocław.
Thank you.
I'm joined here on the sidelines with Matteo Corsi of Italy as they defeat Ireland 10-8 to move to the finals on Saturday. Matteo, tough game for you today. Ireland, a great team. This is the toughest competition you've had so far. What did it take to win today?
Yeah, I think we did a ton of preparation knowing that this would be a real test. They have a ton of great players on their team, and they're really efficient offensively and really took good care of the ball. So we really needed to respond and possess it ourselves. But this was a total team win and just a sheer effort on a rainy day that we really needed to take it to a deeper level to finish the job in the end.
As we could tell by your jersey, by your legs, today was a very muddy job, dirty day at the office. How difficult is it adjusting to these conditions when you guys are already playing previous games the day before?
I think the conditions have been a challenge all the way through, from going from turf to grass, turf shoes to cleats, but we haven't let anything that's out of our control stop us, and we really try to focus on what's in our control. And we knew under the conditions that if we came in with a little bit more speed, a little bit more focus on doing the little things right, we'd come out on top with our possession game. So
now this is Italy's first time in a final at a European Lacrosse Championship. What does that mean for you? And you guys got the day off, so how do you prepare for Saturday?
For Saturday, we definitely, our coaches do a tremendous job with preparation, with scout, with attention to detail. So putting it in their hands to put us in the best position to win and take home the gold. What this means to me, I'm a new guy, I'm Italian. We all have a lot of pride for our country and our heritage. But it's more so for the people who have came before me and the guys who have laid the foundation with this program, and the Italian guys who bring all the energy, all the juice, all the excitement, and doing it for those back home.
2 goals today for Matteo Corsi as Italy defeats Ireland 10-8 to move to the finals here at the European Men's Lacrosse Championship. Thanks, Matteo. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
I gotta speak higher up?
No, both.